Hi everyone, it's Alex. This is going to be your desk tutorial walkthrough. So the first thing to know is the components of the desk. The basics you have here are the computers over on the right. There's the desk phone. Over here you'll have the desk manual. Then there's the desk binder. And then there's, at the Yetter specifically, there's equipment that we rent out. There's the Sodexo computer and grab and go. So we'll start here with the computer. So on your desktop here, using Chrome, if you open that up, it'll be bookmarked up here. You have personas here, that's our door command program, as I was saying. Screen you'll see. And the username, password, they're often like saved in here, but if you need access to that, it's in the desk manual. So you log in, so here's the kind of main screen you'll get. It'll say, hello, desk attendant. On the right, there are a bunch of icons. You can't click on them because you don't have access to those. So the only one you do have access to is status commands. So you'll go here, ask them what apartment they're from, verify they're a resident of that. And then in the search bar, I find it's actually easiest if you just type in the number of the room, or just type in 244, don't type in Yetter, because sometimes it's entered such a specific way that you can make a mistake. So 244 command, unlock, that unlocks the door. And it will stay unlocked until you lock it again. If you have any questions about that, obviously, always just let me know. So now if you go over to the other monitor, it says security desk as a police hat. You see Genetech here's where it is. So it'll bring up the login info. That info is found in the manual, so you can type that in, and then it'll open up. This is the following screen. So I typed in the password, and you'll see it's initializing and opening up. If you have any issues logging into it, just go ahead and email me. Up here in the top right corner, see there's a little clock you can see. It says stop task cycling, which means I already started it. So that will like rotate the cameras through. So make sure you're doing that to keep a fresh eye on things. So here we have the desk phone. See it has the name Yetter Front Desk. And this is a CCU phone, so it's wired into the network. And so you can actually call different Yetter extensions, or not Yetter, sorry, CCU extensions. You can see those in the manual. You can just, so for instance, security's extension is 3222. So if you just type that in and you pick up the phone, it'll actually call security for you. Same for Rockmont desk if you're doing check-in, or if I guess if you wanted my office phone, but I'm not going to be there, so don't do that. And over here we have the desk binder. Some things that you'll find in here, and they'll be better labeled on the tabs as well. But there's Outdoor Leadership does rentals, so that's beyond our equipment rental. And there's contact information for them. I'll get that updated. Some other things that'll be in here is the equipment checkout. There's a basement access tab. There's the blue cart checkout. So during the year, the blue carts are down in the basement, so someone would have to get access down there. Here's the paddleboard checkout. So equipment checkout is for all the basic equipment. We do have paddleboards in the Yetter basement that people are welcome to check out. And the basic process for that is you have them fill this out, and then they need to have a liability form filled out. Put that in there alphabetical by their last name, and then the blank ones are in the back here. So underneath here we have the Yetter lockbox. So that has the master key and a couple other keys in there. And the code is found in the manual, but you just press the buttons. If for some reason you mess up, you can always just pull this down and it resets it. So I'm gonna type it in, and then it's this knob here, and you just turn it to the right, and it should open up nice and easy. This one is the elevator key. I'll show you how to use that in just a second. This one is the emergency panel key. And then this one is the grab and go key. We'll take you to the security panel. It'll be going off and it'll read something here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna call security, because I mean it's annoying, you'll hear it, just a loud beeping. You're gonna press panel silence, and then you're gonna call security and just read to them what's on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it back up. Elevator key, it's kind of the short pudgy one. So you'll know it's locked because if you push the basement button, it won't stay illuminated. So if you're letting someone down here, you'll come here with the key. Don't ever give them the key. But if it's during the year when I do have it locked, you'll come here. If it doesn't turn, it just means that you need to flip the key in the other way, because it does fit in both ways. So just know that. But you'll turn it, press the button so it'll stay illuminated because it's unlocked, and then just turn it back so now it's locked. Another thing worth noting is the emergency radio here. Security is often the ones that are using it. All you have to do is take it from here, and you hold down this button, ask them what they need. They don't always use it, but just don't be afraid of it.
Battery high.
Ooh, okay. If you're ever stepping away from the desk, it's fine. You can leave things unlocked, the computer and the keys, as long as you're within visible sight. If you're not, you're going to be putting up this sign, and you will write in here, there's like a little dry erase marker. You know, if you're stepping away from the bathroom, that's fine. Just kind of write down like return by, you know, in 5 minutes or something like that. And you're turning that out, and then you're locking up the key in the lockbox, and then you'll go to the desktop and just make sure you're locking this up too. Make sure these doors are closed and locked, and then you're welcome to step away. Also, just a note, bunk pins, people are asking for them. They're welcome to just take them. You don't need to sign them out or anything like that. So currently, Sodexo is working on replacing this computer, making it work. So I can't show you exactly how this one works, but I'm going to show you on the Rockmont computer. This is the receipt machine, and if you need to refill it, the receipt paper is down here, and the spare is also, there's a bunch over there. And you just put it in. It's pretty simple. You push the button, and it comes in. It goes in like that. If you put it in the wrong way, what will happen is it just won't, when it like prints stuff off, it just won't show anything. So no, it doesn't run out of ink. These don't actually run on ink. It's not how the thing works. So it just means you need to flip it in backwards. So there's a Sodexo binder here. So just know that. I'll show you a little bit more and talk through the Sodexo binder and resources in there when we go over to Rockmont. Also over here we have the Yetter printer. So students will be using this. I try to put instructions here. If they ever have issues, you're welcome to help them. You probably honestly know more about it than I do. We'll normally have a 3-hole puncher here and a stapler. Extra staples are down in there. If we're running low or we're running out, just send me an email and I'll get those reordered. Just a general note, if you see trash lying around, like please pick it up. Like we want to keep this lobby a place that's welcoming and inviting. Okay, that's kind of the basics for Yetter, so we'll head on over to Rockmont and we'll finish up there. Rockmont desk here. So just to emphasize what I should have emphasized in the first place, your role is not just sitting there and looking pretty, although that's certainly part of it, but you're trying to keep this place secure and making sure people who are coming in are people who are supposed to be here. It's not a time for your friends to be spending time, like quality time with you while you're at the desk. If people stop by and say hi, that's fine, but they should never be sitting down or turning furniture around and propping themselves like in this yellow chair and talking to you the whole time. This is a professional space, so please be respectful and professional. Clean up after yourself. You're welcome to eat food at both desks. Just please don't leave the food that you're eating everywhere. Pens here, I put labels, which I know might seem a little obnoxious, but I lose these pens all the time, and please try and not lose all of them. And then there's a little space heater. There was one over in Yetter too. If you get cold, especially Rockmont in winter, it gets pretty cold. So here you have your POS register and a Sodexo binder here. So kind of what's going to be in here, it's not quite in there yet because I haven't been able to connect with them, but there will be a place to record temperatures for the coolers. There will be sheets for when an item doesn't scan, although there's going to be a change to that because we've actually lost a lot of product to that. So I'll be letting you know the new procedure for that. But here you're turning in credit card slips, or if there's invoices, there won't be really any deliveries while you guys are working, so you don't have to worry about that. But they go in this little green guy. And then they're also, Sodexo's coming up with a manual of their own to just walk you through register use and stuff like that if there's major questions. There's main screen, this is where you're going to log in. You'll get a specific code. It'll be your ID, student ID, minus the 0 in the front. Mine's a little different. Wait, I shouldn't show you. Okay, so it'll ask you if you want to clock in, you push yes, and it'll then bring you to this screen. This is your basic screen. Yetter has a couple little different things. They've been working on getting these things uniform, so we'll see how that goes. But basically, you don't use the meal exchange card. We don't use meal exchange for grab and go. We're only using student card and credit. We don't accept cash, so ignore the top buttons. But if you're ever on a different, or you somehow get away from the screen, you can always click pay, and that'll bring you back to this basic screen where it's payment stuff. So over here you'll have, you have your, this is for credit cards if they're paying with credit. This is for when they're scanning their student card, they'll just be tapping here. And then this is your scanning tool. So it has a little trigger, not super hard to figure out, because this thing of mini donuts. So you scan it, and I'll bring it up here. You see, $1.99. So, and then you'd ask how they're paying. If they're paying with credit card, you'd be pushing credit, and then it would give them instructions there to complete. And once it completes the payment, it'll print a receipt. That receipt's actually their receipt, and then you need to push print, and that will actually give you the receipt we need them, the credit card slip. Which actually, but if they're paying for with student card, it's going to bring this up and say GC redeemed. You're just going to confirm the amount by pushing enter, and then that's when it's asking the card number. That's when they tap. So because if they only have like 2 cents left on their Cougar Cash, you could actually just charge 2 cents onto it and tap their card, and then it would give you the rest of the total. There's also items that aren't on, they don't have a barcode. That's cookie dough and pizza. We're working with Sodexo to get these more streamlined, because some of it's like, which cookie dough do I push? We're working that out. So once you want to get back to that, remember, you just press pay to get back to the screen. If you want to check someone's Cougar Cash, how much they have on it, press this down arrow, and then you press next level, and then you press card balance and GC redeemed, and then you'd have them scan their card, and you can tell them how much Cougar Cash they have on without purchasing something. So if you hit too many items, you can just make sure it's highlighted, and then you can push the little red trash can. That will get rid of it. If you wanted to select, if you know they're getting a bunch of the same item, like they're getting 6 mini donuts, you can type in 6 and then scan it, and that'll give you 6. So if you don't want to do that, you're like, oops. Because sometimes what happens when you scan something, watch what you're scanning, like just make sure it makes sense, I guess. Oh my gosh, this shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Because sometimes you may have bumped this button earlier, and then you charge them for like $40 of cookie dough instead of the right amount. So just be double checking that. But then if you do student card, you'll go through that process. Just hand them the receipt, and they'll tell them how much they have on it, and then you're done. Yay. This is the lockbox underneath here. I kind of upgraded a little bit, so I added a little hook here, because I know that was actually pretty difficult because it was really hard to balance. Because this one kind of comes totally off, which honestly is kind of annoying, but it's what we got. So you have to enter in the code, and the specific code, they're different for Yet and Rockmont, to like lock it back up basically. So it's kind of weird, but you figure it out. There's also speakers here. If you want to play some light music, that's fine. Just make sure it's appropriate. And this main monitor. Again, you can work on things as long as it's not pulling you from your responsibilities. Here's the other emergency radio. If it goes off, don't freak out, just respond. This is the cameras, some hand sanitizer. Over here, this is where the desk binder's at. Here's the desk manual. So I'll send you a digital copy of this, but just to familiarize yourself with it, has a table of contents. And this one's not updated yet, so I'll have a new updated one. But everything you need to know. There's a summary page with a lot of passwords and stuff like that. Again, make sure all this stuff is private. There's my contact info if you need it. Yeah, and then if you have any questions about things and how to work, I try to outline them step by step in here. And if you have more questions, please feel free to let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also over here, we have the receipt tape. There's some paper down here, and here's the printer. If they're having issues, I feel like this printer sometimes has a little more issues than it should. Just shoot me an email, and we'll try and get that figured out with IT. Here are some bed pins too, so people are welcome to take them from here as well. I have them set out right now, but normally we have them kept down here somewhere. Alrighty, so that's kind of a summary. Thanks for all you do, guys. Let me know if you have more questions.